All right, well, thanks for joining me today. On this episode, I'm going to show you how I create my own spider webbing. I know we get a lot of Spider-Man and some of the Spider-Verse characters, and some of the webbing that Hasbro provides for us is poo-poo, crap, useless. I don't like it. Some of the best spider webbing, I think, is done by Mafex or some of the other companies. But all in all, I usually find the webbing that Hasbro gives us pretty junky, and it's not really useful to me. So in order to kind of enhance some of the figures and some of the spider characters that they give us, I usually make my own web. And to do that, we'll kind of walk through that. There's a couple of styles that I use. You guys saw, a little bit of the spider webbing that I used before on. I guess in that video that I just put up in front of this one are those static shots of Ben Reilly. But there's a couple of lines that I use because they have two different types of, they behave differently, right? I use this one right here, Benacrete, permanently colored wire, the white version, and this is the number behind it, and that's the bar there. But my go-to is this cord here, and I'll put the Amazon name of it right up here so you guys can, but this one I like more because it's well, you'll see, it's a little bit more static, it's a little bit more wiry, and it holds its shape much better than this one. This one is probably more for, like, if you're gonna wrap it around a figure or whatever, or make some effect with it. Maybe you got web tied to here, going to here, and another web this way, another web, kind of like make web effects, right? And this one's more of a web line. Most of the time I end up using this. So this one, you'll end up with something like this. And it's really tough to wind and stuff. So, this one's a little tougher to do, and I don't really use it that often. So if you want, you can use this, but I don't really use this one very much. Again, I only use it every once in a while if I'm going to wrap something up or whatever. The one that I do use quite often, like I said, is this one, and these are the kind of webs that I end up with, right? I absolutely love the webbing that McFarland used to have on his covers, and it used to look like this, right? It used to look messy, right? It has motion to it, and it's going forward, and that's just the style that I've always become accustomed to, and what I see as what it would look like. I just think it's got a great flair to it, right? It's messy, but it's straight and almost looks drawn. So let me show you what I do in order to make it look like this, and how you can fit it to one of your figures. So what you want to do first is you want to go ahead and cut off a piece here that, just cut yourself a piece off of there, but make sure whatever you're going to use, and make sure that you measure off how long you want it to be first. So, maybe I want mine to be, let's say, this long, right? Well, it's got to be long. It's got to be shorter than this end, actually quite a bit shorter. So we're gonna do this one like right here. It's going to be a short webbing. So we'll do this one about right there, because remember, you're going to have to wind this one around. So let me grab my hemostats, and I use hemostats. So I use hemostats for a variety of things, but this one I find actually quite useful. And hemostats are these surgical looking tools like this that lock into place just like this. They're good to hold something in place. So, and I have mine marked. I know what how thick I want the bottom part to be to fit right there. So I've marked that off right there. And so what I usually do is I'll take the hemostat right around there, and then I'll just twirl it around once, right? So we just twirl it around one time. Get it as tight as you can right there, and then just twirl it once. Actually twirling the wrong one, but I twirl it right there. It might be better if it's even a little tighter than that. Now, once I do that, I'll go ahead and secure it from this end. And actually, you could go a little bit tighter than that. I'm gonna make it go a little tighter. So you can go a little tighter. You don't want it to be too small, but that's about perfect right there. So we're gonna hold on to it right there. So now that you're holding on to it, you just kind of start doing your, going around on it. So here, let me move you out the way a little bit. This is gonna get messy, but it's really up to interpretation, right? Kind of do a couple of these, and then you kind of get real tight on it. Get real tight. As you're doing it, you want to get really close to the one piece of wire that you're doing, right? And you want to do a real tight knot. And then maybe, for interpretation, you loosen it up a bit. You get a little bigger there. You get a little bigger curl, like a curlicue. You give it, and you really just, it's just interpretive. Whatever you feel, not so tight there. And then we get real tight. Real tight. I mean, it literally is just interpretive. Like I said, McFarland used to draw these really just super amazing, webbing that I would love to see in my figures. And again, here we're going to do a little bit of loose here. Just throw it off a bit, kind of a big, going big there. We'll go big, and then we'll go a little bit forward, and then we'll get real tight again. Tight in on there. So you would do these really super intricate drawings of really complex spider webbings. And I like mine to resemble that, right? I like mine to show off that McFarland style. To me, McFarland is not only a pretty great toy maker, but he's also awesome, amazing artist, in my opinion. Your opinion may vary, but to me, that's who I like to do my my spider webbing after. And then up here at the top, when you finally get to the front, you're going to want to save a little bit of this because you want to kind of make a little ball, right? And so this is also very interpretive here. So you're going to have to kind of figure out, you want it to look like a teardrop, like it's headed toward whatever it's headed, but it's going to make a splat there at the end, right? So you want to make it like a bulbous head there at the front, and you want to almost give it an aerodynamic push. So this is a little bit tougher part, and be careful, you might get stuck with some of this wire. But anyways, I don't know if you guys find this super helpful or not, but this is always how I make my webbing. And that way I don't have to pay $20 for a little bit of webbing on eBay or on Etsy. I mean, it's not that hard, y'all. It's not that hard to make. I mean, it literally took me, about a few minutes there to make? Boy, I got this little guy right here sticking out. Push that in a little bit there. Anyways, so there that is. Let's pop this off. Let's undo the hemostat. Now, what we can do is simply take this. Oh, I don't have his flipping hand. Where did I leave his flipping hand? Okay, so I found his flipping hand. That only took a few minutes. Let me straighten out. You want to straighten out. I mean, do it however you like, but I usually like my spider web to be super straight, unless he's swinging from something, or unless he's putting some strain on it from something. So you take your good old Ben Reilly Spider-Man, or whatever, your Spider-Man of your choice. You want to go ahead and put it through his loop here. Let's just do it this way. Bend it a little. Put it through there. And then just pop it in there. Come on. There we go. Now, oh wait, I put it on his wrong hand. Gosh, come on. Come on. What's going on here? Pop this one off. Come on. What is going on? All right, let's pop it in here. There we go. All right, so now that we've got it in there, simple enough, right? Now we can pretty much put it anywhere we want to. You can kind of, move it around. give it some, come on you. Come on, Ben. Don't be a meanie. Work with me. All right. So now you can pretty much put them in, you know, whatever little pose you want them to be in, right? If, you know, and, you know, maybe you want to have him swinging from something, or maybe he's about to, you know, hit somebody up with some webbing, you know, whichever kind of way you want to do it. And again, it's real easy to manipulate that, make it look any way you want to, you know, any way you want it to look. So let me see if I can just stand him there for a second. There you go. All right, so that's about it. That's all I really wanted to teach you guys, or share. I don't know if I'm teaching anybody anything, but that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. If you found it, you know, if you found it helpful, subscribe, like if you're so inclined. Come on, stand up there, Spidey. What's going on here? Come on. All right, there you go. So anyways, if you found it helpful, if you found it neat, if you know, share it with your friends, whatever. You don't have to pay $25 on Etsy for a couple of these things. You can just make them yourself. Buy a couple of spools of this, and it's a lifetime supply of webbing for Marvel Legends action figures, or any other kind of spider creature you want. So anyways, that's all I want to share with you guys. If don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you feel so inclined. And as always, I'll try to make some more videos like this, some more how-to videos. And if you guys are interested in any of the other stuff that I kind of show off or have, let me know, and I'll make a video on it if there's anything that you. Also do a lot of these slings. Nothing makes a figure pop more than some of these slings. I mean, they sell some of these on eBay, but then I make some as well with rubber bands. Maybe we'll do a video on that as well. Or you can also make them with surgical masks, that you know, leftover surgical masks. You can, anyways, maybe that's another video. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you're so inclined. And as always, as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep rolling it out.